of Premier League action. Getting the better of the Iceman, Gerwyn Price. Another evening to forget for the Welshman, averaging 90 in the end. Next up, the newly crowned UK Open winner and reigning Premier League champion, amongst many, many other things, of course. Luke Littler takes on his stablemate and his very good friend, the master on the floor events over the last year or so, in Chris Dobey, in his second Premier League campaign. And John McDonald just introducing Hollywood to the crowd at the moment. This the fourth meeting between the pair, and if the other three are anything to go by, Chris Mason, we really are in for a belter here.
Yeah, I just think they enjoy the tempo and rhythm of the match. They're very no-nonsense kind of players, aren't they? Just get out there, play darts, get out of the way, and just got that lovely feeling of they're just travelling around in a circle, very much like as you would in practice, and they respond to each other. And well, did Dobey win their last meeting?
No surprise that was on the floor.
Yeah. Did meet in the World Series of Darts finals in the quarter-final last year. That was won by Littler 10-7. Always a smile on the face of Chris Dobey.
Yeah, and here comes the teen sensation, newly crowned UK Open champion, as I just mentioned. One weekly title to his name in the 2025 Premier League campaign.
Champion of the world! It's Luke, the Nuke Littler!
A running average so far in this Premier League campaign, just shy of 105.
That's outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. Listen, it all started very well for Dobey. Made the final on week one. Not won a game since.
And look, just to put into context, yes, I know we are still early on in this Premier League campaign, but last year, Luke Humphries became just the 7th player in Premier League history to have a running average over a ton for the entire league phase. And at the moment, Luke Littler is up at 105. Just to put that into some context, but Chris, just picking up on Chris Dobey, because in his debut Premier League campaign he made it to 2 weekly finals. He won the opening night and also finished runner-up on night 7. So far this year he has made one final, as you mentioned, lost in all the other quarter-finals. But I just want your opinion on how important you think his Players' Championship success can be, because in 2023 the floor form wasn't there for him. Now he's come into a number of these events, and winning breeds confidence. So for him, that really could help him to be a catalyst in the Premier League.
And that's exactly the perfect word. It is a catalyst. You need that positivity. It doesn't matter who you are. Look at MVG, as experienced and as good as he is, and as successful as he's been. He's on this horrible roll at the moment where he just can't string games together. Had a great World Championship, but that sort of came from nowhere. I don't think, and the draw sort of played into his hands, if you like. But with Dobey, listen, he's currently in P7. He's on 3 points. His Premier League numbers 95-65. It's nearly 10 off the pace of his opponent, and that's another throw. That's what it equates to. He's needing that extra visit where Luke Littler isn't. And right now, on the back, when you say about winning breeds winning, he played beautifully in the UK Open from start to finish. Wasn't even troubled at any point for me. And I think for a player like him, who is not the biggest practicer in the world, his practice comes from playing. And I think on the back of that, probably had a couple of days, I expect him to do some amazing things tonight.
Yeah, you and many, many others, both players kicking off with 140 visits. Luke Littler, I would go as far as to say that is one of the greatest UK Open campaigns you will ever see, largely because of the quality that was being thrown back at him in pretty much every single round.
And it's how he handled it.
Yeah,
that's what impresses me. We keep saying it every time we speak to each other. It's old head on young shoulders. He's just got so much maturity to go with that ability, and it's a deadly combination for his opponents. From 2-2-1, finds treble 20. There's literally acres of room. No shot that's a max. 41 after 9.
But Dobey's not started too badly, 90 after 9 himself, so he's going to be first to have a look at the bullseye.
This is almost like when, for Littler, this campaign tonight, it's almost like round 13 in a fight when someone has a rematch, because that's what he was doing a lot, leaving a single to double combination after 9.
2 missed darts at double though from Luke Littler at the start of this one at tops. Dobey for double 16, misses just outside. Can he work his way in off of that one? He does so perfectly to take the opening leg. And this is a very, very decent start from both players.
Yeah, it was a fortunate hold in the end for Dobey. Did have a dart at the ball prior to Littler's attempt at 41, but we just don't expect Littler to miss. But in some cases, though, his averages were staggering in that UK Open. He did miss a lot of darts at doubles, which is not what we'd expect from him.
No, not at all.
93.
But it's again the way he handles those situations now, isn't it?
Well, his head doesn't drop.
No. But the thing that I really liked when we saw it a couple of weeks ago was Luke Littler showed some human emotion. Shock. The lad, you see it now, people are going, well, he shouldn't have reacted like that. If he doesn't react, people say he doesn't care enough. And when he does react like that, then he's being petulant or he's being irresponsible.
Yeah, well,
the way he handles that side of things, it's remarkable.
Yeah, but he wouldn't be. Listen, if he's not disappointed, he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like, people say someone's arrogant because they're confident. They're completely different things. And I like to see him. It's like Luke Humphries the other night with Wadey. I like that.
Yeah.
He's a winner. You don't want to lose. You don't want to get involved in all that nonsense.
Again, Dobey down to a finish after 9. It is a 1-4-8, and he's got a dart at double 14 to take it. Just bends the wire.
Well, Littler's under a bit of pressure here. Wants 110.
And he's looking for 110 in order to take this one. 19 with his first dart. 17 not going to go, so it's Chris Dobey now, who's back for double 7. Is he going to go straight for it?
Not the nicest double in the world, double 7. He's outside. There's always that fear of burning a dart and wasting it, but both of them are on the wire.
Missed all 3 darts, so Luke Littler comes back, and these are the opportunities. I know it's cliche, but they do normally have to go, but Luke Littler has now missed his opportunity, so Dobey again, double 7 the target, comes inside. And this is where things get a little bit nervy. And there's case in point, because he's just bust his score with his 3rd and final dart.
You can't be giving Littler these opportunities to start to really take a hold in the match, but he wants double 5.
And he can't get the job done, so Chris Dobey again comes back with a look.
This time splits.
Yeah, no surprise there to see a big fat 6 hit. And then he does clean things up on double 4 to take a 2-0 lead in this one. And when you have a look, Luke Littler's average at the moment down at 88. He's missed his first 7 darts at the outer ring. Dobey's only 2 from 10 himself. But normally, Chris, you are spot on. Normally, you do not return to the board, especially when Littler is on double 10.
No, it's almost like, if you stood behind him as a player now, it's a given. You think, oh well, that's that leg gone.
Yeah.
100.
Chris Dobey, finalist in week 1, of course, and you look back at the 2023 campaign, he didn't actually do a lot wrong. He played really well in it.
He did, but that's the nature of the beast when you've got the elite, which he is now part of. This is where Dobey's really got to almost squeeze the life out of Littler. Just misses the ball on the 1-2-6. Littler on 1-5-1. Wouldn't put it past him. 60's found. So's the 51. Tops.
So agonisingly close. A shake of the head there from Luke Littler.
Well, it would have been one of those that have come out of his hand and he's gone, I think that's in. Gets the 9 just. Cannot afford to allow Littler back to the board.
17.
But he does so. both looking edgy on the outer ring. Littler just outside with the first and then clips it in with the second.
But if there isn't an Achilles heel to Dobey's game, it is finishing, isn't it? He just gets too tight.
Yeah, we've seen it time and time again. It's a familiar story. And it's quite interesting, given the pattern of play over the first two legs, he wouldn't have been that confident. Yes, he was 2-0 up, but there were so many question marks over his finishing in them. He could have been 2-0 down, but I've spoken to quite a few people who've shared the room with him now in Players' Championship events, which are, of course, played behind closed doors, and they've said there is a different swagger to Chris Dobey now. He does walk around like a bit of a winner.
Yes. Well, he is, isn't he? He is now part of that elite group of players that, and I think by the end of the year his ranking position will also back that up, because I think he's going to have a good year. I think we may see him pick up a first ranking title, because of course the Masters at that point wasn't ranked. Now of course it is the Wimbledon World Masters. And I haven't spoken to you. What did you think of it, the World Masters?
Absolutely loved it. I thought it was perfect in that format. And it's always nice to see things getting that refresh, isn't it? To see things, and it's just such a brutal format.
It's got so much jeopardy to it. You never feel safe.
Yeah. But you just can't take your eyes off it. It's so captivating to watch. Dobey not going to get a dart from the 170, so it's all about the setup play, because Luke Littler, well, he's stolen a march here, Chris Dobey, against the darts. How does Littler respond? First dart in the treble 20 bed. That's an excellent setup from Luke Littler.
And you were spot on when you think about the idea of winning breeds winning. Wins the Premier League, wins the UK, wins the Premier League, and that's Luke Humphries to a T.
And we have a level game here, 2 apiece. Luke Littler on tops, and it's another leg where Chris Dobey was first down to a finish. He's more than competing at the moment in the scoring phase of this one, and that's largely because, well, Luke Littler, when you look at his doubling stats so far in this one, 2 from 11.
Yeah, that's not pretty. Although, and again, it was something I was remarking on at the UK Open, that he's the kind of player that will have 12 darts at a double in a leg, lose it, and it's gone. He starts the next leg 180, 140, and he does a 12.
54.
The normal player, especially in like key situations, they would have a hangover into the next leg. He doesn't have that. He just gets knuckled straight back down to business, as is Dobey, with a max taking him down to 47 after 9.
This is excellent from Chris Dobey at the moment.
And it's the kind of response he needed, because you could just see Littler just turning up the afterburner and running away with it.
Yeah, you mentioned Chris Dobey treats us to an 11 dart leg there to hold throw. You mentioned that Luke Littler has just put the previous leg behind him. Well, Dobey doing the same at the moment. A deflection there from Luke Littler, preventing him from getting his third maximum of the contest.
Lucky the dart stayed in the board. It crashed in against the flights. 96 for Dobey. Averages right now 96 Littler, 98 Dobey. It's Dobey that leads 3-2. But for how long? Another max from Littler.
You just expect it, don't you?
That first dart, and it's in and high.
Yeah. You may as well just give him the 180 points there. Just save him from throwing the next two.
Cut out the middleman.
Yeah. It really is exquisite to watch.
Well, I was having a brief chat to Jim Bradford, who was working tonight for talkSPORT, of course, and we were discussing it. It's very much like when you get someone like Tiger Woods, who was given a golf club as a child. Us walking up a flight of stairs, it's second nature.
Yeah.
It's the same for him at darts. It's just a natural movement that feels automatic.
Missed another dart at tops though to level us up once again. So Dobey with an outside chance at the 145 gets the treble 20. But he's a long way off, goes into the wrong segment completely with dart number 2. It's a decent enough recovery, puts pressure on this double 10 for Luke Littler, but we all know what Luke Littler does with pressure.
Pressure's for tyres. 3-3, and it does feel like Dobey's almost not quite hanging on, but it's almost like a knockout punch is coming. It's just when.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? Because I felt like this a number of times when Luke Littler's faced opponents who are really producing greatness against them. Yes, players can do it for a match or for a few legs, but you just expect, more often than not, Luke Littler, he's going to maintain it for a lot longer than you. You just expect that burst to last that bit longer. But Dobey at the moment, he's averaging around a ton. So far, his best performance in this year's Premier League, this. I have seen.
Well, it backs up with the records he holds in sets and spells where he produced those absolutely ridiculous numbers.
Yeah, he does it so frequently now. Of course, the winner of this one will take on Michael van Gerwen, who got the better of Gerwyn Price in our opening match, and there were quite a few dodgy darts at double in that one as well. This one certainly picked up on that front, though.
Well, it's safe to say that match will be the battle of the doubles, won't it? It'll be all down to the doubles.
Luke Littler here, stealing the darts on the Dobey throw.
As we expected. We knew this was coming. It wasn't if it was going to happen, it was when. And Dobey now forced to find a minimum of a 140. A 180 would be wonderful. But maybe, just maybe, all in vain.
Yeah, 2 trebleless visits back-to-back from Dobey have allowed Luke Littler this opportunity, and it's going to be 1 dart at tops, but that is well high.
Yeah, that was a dart where he's thrown that thinking, right, I know the weight of this dart, and he's nowhere near. 9-9 now for Dobey. This is a horrible double to be going at, but he attacks it, he finds it, and somehow is full 3 in front.
And that's how you've got to be, isn't it, when you're taking on such an aggressive, such an attacking player.
And again, no hangover of disappointment. Right then. Okay, that's another one you've nicked. Have a 180.
That has to be so hard to do in this cauldron of noise, of pressure.
Well, I think he's just the product of the modern player. He comes through all the systems, but this is a lad at 13 who was winning big senior titles. How old was he when he went to Lakeside? 15?
Yeah, and I think as well, when you are winning so much, these nights, if you do go out early, you haven't really got the pressure, have you?
No.
Because you know you can make it up, whereas Dobey, he'll probably be thinking more, well, I've lost the last 3 quarterfinals. It takes on that added significance.
Well, when you are in that position Dobey's in, you need points, and when an opportunity like this one presents itself against a player who is so far in this match, we've seen bits and pieces, but overall it'll be for him. I mean, I'd be over the moon with a 98 average, but he'll be rather displeased with it all. But you've got to jump on these opportunities. Oh, missed a big number. Single 3 is found. Well, this time he got the read on tops. The other one was closer to the actual wired number at the top.
But that's the thing as well, isn't it, with Luke Littler, because it comes so naturally to him. Even when he does miss the big number, there's no pause, there's no readjustment. He just knows exactly what to do. He stays in his rhythm and he gets the job done.
And how often have we seen the normal player miss the big number and then miss it again trying to correct the issue?
Yeah, 4 apiece now, Dobey with the darts.
83.
Dobey still with the superior average, 99. Well, the sun we had today, that's quite an apt number, quite fancy one of them actually myself.
And he's doing enough at the moment, isn't he, Dobey, to keep Littler at bay at the right times. 2 in the treble 20 bed, make that another maximum for Hollywood.
What he's doing well, Abby, is he's holding on to throw well, isn't he? Despite being put under heaps and heaps of pressure.
Yeah, we talk about timing a lot in this game. He wants 104 to take a 5-4 lead and move within 1. We saw Luke Humphries time in last week, especially against Rob Cross in the semi-final. Absolutely exquisite. And at the moment, it's Dobey's timing that is superb. He now leads 5-4. He does manage to take out double 16.
Yeah, he hit the 18 treble 18, found the double 16. He's only 1 leg away, and it's been played like he's the one been chasing. But of course he's not. He's the one that's led. And he leads 5-4 in a race to 6, and only 30 from Littler, who started with the 140. So Dobey with the 135 starts, only 35 behind. That's treble 5. Makes the adjustment laterally.
35.
Good stuff this from Chris Dobey, but back comes Luke Littler. He's still not going to give up this one, but Chris Dobey now averaging around the 102 mark. This really is impressive stuff for him.
Yeah, and only a trebleless visit, and it's right then you want that big visit, isn't it? Because you know Littler's going to pile on the pressure, which he does with 2 treble 19, so 167 for the match.
Great switching downstairs from Luke Littler to leave himself on 58, but Dobey gets the treble 19, just low of the treble 20 with his next 2. So to take us all the way to a decider, it is 2 darts at tops. Comes inside, so it's double 10. And he does pin it. We are going all the way in quarter-final 2.
What were you saying, Abby, when you want double? You just give him it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool as a cucumber. Luke Littler to take us all the way. Single 20 top wire, treble 20 pound, only a ton, and this is where I fear for Dobey. Just tightens slightly, and that's going to be emphasised against Littler, who starts with a 140.
Well, that explains why Chris Dobey had the look on his face when he only came away with a ton. In deciders, normally you come away with a ton, you go, right, 1 big treble, but you just know that that's rarely going to be enough against the Nuke. But he does come away with 2 treble 20s in his next visit.
Well, more often than not, like I say, 4 steady tons, take the 101 out, a 15 dart would be enough. Nowadays, not a chance.
You don't get the dart.
Fear the 12.
Yeah.
And again, a loose last dart, and it's low, and all that tells me is he's feeling the pinch, and rightly so. This is a huge game. He's worked incredibly hard throughout this match.
Yeah, Luke Littler down to 167. How handy can Chris Dobey leave things? Searching for a treble, isn't able to find one, comes up dry. So he's on 136. Littler not going to take care of the 167, but oh, how Hollywood would have hoped to have left this better. 136 for the match.
Only 57 for Littler, so he's still on 110 and a low and left 5. Does recover with treble 17. Leaves 64.
But is he going to get a look? Because Littler wants tops for the match. He takes care of the 110. Chris Dobey with a wry smile on his face. He knows he played exceptionally well himself in that match. Had the higher average of the 2 in excess of a ton. Luke Littler ends it 97.5. There were plenty of missed darts at double from the Nuke at the start of that match, but he worked his way into it very, very well indeed. Just doing Luke Littler things, Chris.
Yeah, only had, in the end, just 1 more dart at a double than his opponent Chris Dobey, and ironically, at the first opportunity to win the match, finds tops as clean as a whistle, and does move on to meet MVG in our first semi-final, but 2 more quarter-final matches to bring you.
Yeah, absolutely. You are listening to Premier League Darts live on talkSPORT 2 in partnership with Village Hotels. Dine out, stay, work out and play. Visit villagehotels.com. Coming up for you after this break, it is Rob Cross against Luke Humphries, and they played out a belter 7 days ago. When it comes to the Darts Premier League, the last thing you want is an online mishap throwing you off your game. Threat Protection Pro helps you dodge bogus sites, and with the Dark Web Monitor, you'll get a heads up if your personal info starts circulating in the online equivalent of the Madhouse. Go to nordvpn.com/dartsvpn and get 2 years plus 4 months free and a lovely birthday deal. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. This is abysmal.
Yeah, well, all the Sky viewers at home are having the same.
I'm tempted. Is there a way to...